A little bit about myself. I have been with this campaign for 27 years now. 27 years. 27 years ago, I used to be in the restaurant business. I used to be with an investment group. My best friend invited me to take a look at this, and I had no idea what it was. I was very skeptical. I thought it was one of those pyramid schemes. I thought he was going to recruit me. I thought he was going to sell me something, and I didn't want to buy anything, nor did I want to join anything. And I was very hard headed because back then, 27 years ago, I already made six-figure income, and I thought life was good at 26 years old. So when my best friend invited me here, I had no idea what it was. But you know what I said on the 8th time, Mesky? I said, I'm just going to show up and say, thank you for inviting me, but I'm not interested. Or I'll keep you in mind. And that was my true intention of what I was going to do. But whenever I came and I listened, I saw that this information is something that we have to teach everybody in this country. We do not teach financial literacy in our high schools when our kids graduated from high school. You remember when you graduated from high school? They never taught us how FICO score works. They never taught us about taxes. They never taught us about how to balance a checkbook. They never taught us any of those things. So this is something that we truly believe in, and we want to educate families out there and change the financial industry. So being 6 months in the business, I fell in love with the company. After I fell in love with the company, I went full-time. I have been full-time here for 26 and a half years. And I'm so proud to say that I help thousands and thousands of families out there build their financial foundation, and also help many, many team members out there become successful with our campaign. So for your time here today, we're going to be on this call for 1 hour, no longer. We're going to be here 1 hour, but it's going to be a very jam-packed 1 hour. So all I ask you to do, Sonia, is just listen to the information. We don't ask you to do anything. You don't even, if you want to take notes, you can take notes. You want to take screenshots of me? That's cool too. But whatever you want to learn about, at the very end, reach out to the person who invited you and ask those true questions. Is this for me? Or what does this entail? Because today, I am just going to hit the main key points of number one, the market condition out there in saving your future and building a financial foundation. Basically, the need for financial education. So when you're listening to this presentation right here, you might be thinking about your kids. You might be thinking about your kid that just graduated from college and they're having a challenge finding a job. You might be the person who's working for a job for 20 years, 30 years of your life, and you find out it's not going anywhere. You might be the person that just immigrated to America. You were a doctor, you were a lawyer in your country, and then you came to America. That degree is totally useless, and you had to start all over from the beginning. Or you might be that person that's just sick and tired of being sick and tired and living paycheck to paycheck and wondering, when am I going to build something for me? This is what I'm going to share with you today. And all I want you to do, listen to the information. At the end, meet with the person or call the person, have a sit down with them, and find out if this is for you or not. And look here, I always say this, if it's for you, great. Let's see if it can work out for your family. But if it's not for you, that's okay too, because you might know someone who wants to learn about this information. So let's go ahead and get started with this presentation. I'm going to go fairly quick. There'll be no Q&A session because I'm going to get you on the call and I'm going to get you off the calls. You can spend time with your family, maybe think about the future, right? So I'm going to share my screen here. Give me 1 minute. All right. So I hope my video is good. I hope my audio is good for you guys, right? So let's get started here. Hold on. Right.
Recording in progress.
Minute. All right. Chris, we good on this here? Yes. Okay. Spotlight. Everyone. One box. All right. So let's get started. First of all, I want to talk to you today something about saving your future. But I want to talk to you about the basic principles of building a strong financial foundation. I believe a lot of families out there want to build this foundation. You know, how come we live in one of the wealthiest countries in the world, but we seem to always have money problems? We work so hard to raise our children just to see them finish college with a lot of debt. You know, debt becomes a way of life in this country. As you can see, the more money you make, the more money we make, the more money we spend. It seems like even though we worked so many extra hours in the beginning of last month, but we turn around and we look at our wife and we say, honey, where's all the money? You know, where's all of our money going? Today, I'm going to talk to you about all of these items here. So let's take a look at the challenges that we face out there. A lot of families are facing out there. And you know, it's just like right now, if you look right here, what are the bad habits and poor decisions that adds up? Well, number one, a lot of families out there, they don't have a budget. You know, we have no goals in our finances. We spend a lot of money. We like to go out. We like to have dinner. We like to look good. We like to impress the people who we don't even like. We have no emergency fund. We live paycheck to paycheck. A lot of families out there, you don't, no matter how much money you make, it's still paycheck to paycheck. Because I found out it's not about what you make, but it's also about what you keep and you invest. What about increasing debt? This is the one country that if you don't have any money, we're going to give you money. Where in the world can you find that? So, you know, increasing debt is everywhere right now. Even our children now, they're going to college. They have no job. You have all of these fairs over there that's giving them credit card application. Fill this out. We'll give you a shirt. Fill this out. We'll give you a cap. And they're filling out all these credit cards, and hallelujah, automatically they end up with a $500 credit line and they don't even have a job. But don't worry about it. You only have to pay the minimum $10 a month. What about not interested in their financial future right here? Now, to me, I believe people are not there. They are interested in their future. I believe a caring man, a caring mom, a caring dad lays up at night and think about their finances. How many times have you laid in bed at night thinking about how we're going to pay the next bill? How many times we think about, man, how come I keep on working and we can't get that great vacation? It seems like I'm making someone else richer, but not our family richer. See, it's not that we're not interested in our future. Do you know what it is? Is that we don't put time to plan our future. If we had a Bahamas trip, if we had a trip to go to the Philippines, Venezuela, Colombia, back anywhere, we'll spend months planning out the trip. But whenever it comes to our personal finance, learn how money works and make money work for my family. We don't even spend no more than 15 minutes on it. It's sad to see that. So the question is here is that what do the wealthy know that the rest of us do not know? What do they know? You know, I always tell people, don't get mad at the rich. Don't shame them. There's nothing wrong with making money. I don't see a single thing wrong with making money as long as you're doing it right. Because why? Everyone deserves financial literacy. Everyone deserves to be wealthy, but not everyone is wealthy. It's up to us to learn about this information for our family. Taking care of our family financially is being responsible. Not only being a good dad, not only being a good husband, but to provide financially for our family is responsibility. So let's take a look at one of the challenges. The one is people are living longer and longer and longer. Hey, it's a fact right now. You know what we do? We live in what we call the sandwich era. The sandwich era is very simple. We're right here. Our kids are growing older, so we have to take care of them. They're expensive. And then our parents are getting older too, so we have to take care of our parents. So we're sandwiched right in the middle. And as you know, one of the biggest fear for families that when they get older, they're going to run out of money. We have a fear of getting run out of money. And number two, we also have a fear that when I age a little older, who's going to take care of me? Do I want to be put in a nursing home? Do I want to do any of that? No, I want to have a great quality of life. So because people are living longer and longer and longer, there's more problems coming out there too. So we have to prepare for that. We have to plan for the second half of our life. Now, in our company, what is our financial product? Our financial product is right here. It's all about building a strong financial foundation. You know, just like building your home, you got to build it from the ground up. You know, the foundation of your home has to be strong. It cannot be weak because it doesn't matter what you have in your house. You can have an 80-inch TV, you can have all these nice cars, you can have all of these things. But if the breadwinner of the home, the person or the foundation is no good, your home is almost worth nothing. Just like our financial home, we have to know, what is my current situation? Where am I at right now? What is my situation? And then once you know, what do you have to be at? But to get from here to here, you have to build this foundation. And it starts out with number one, it's called proper protection. And in proper protection, there's really two things in here I look at. Number one, if the man above calls me early and I die too soon, I have to have life insurance to take care of my family. Because apparently, when the man above takes us, do you agree with me? He doesn't take your mortgage. He doesn't take your bill. He says, you know what? I love your husband. I'm just going to take him, but don't worry about it. I'll just pay your mortgage for you. See, it doesn't work like that. He takes the best of us. And whenever the breadwinner's gone, we have to have life insurance to take care of the family, the kids, the wife, the mortgage, all the bills, because they still exist. But number two thing right now, a lot of people are starting to see is that what is happening? We're having illnesses. We have cancer is a big one. We have stroke is another one. We have heart issues, another one. Now we're not dead. We don't pass away. But dude, if we got hit by one of these diseases, would you agree with me that we have to focus on recovery? But if you focus on recovery and you stay at home and be with the family, is your boss going to tell you, hey, Dewey, don't worry about it. You just stay at home. Don't worry. You focus on recovery. We love your 30 years of service, and we're just going to continue giving your paycheck. Does anyone in this call right here that your boss was going to say that to you? Or they're going to say, I'm sorry about what's going on. Our prayers go out for you and your family. But hey, man, if you don't come back to work in 2 weeks, we got to let you go. That's why if you have cancer, stroke, or heart attack, which is more common than ever these days, you have money to take care of your bills and family. I call it peace of mind. And if you want to learn more about this, we have these financial literacy education workshops every day, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m., 7 p.m., 9 p.m. Central Time. And this workshop right here is workshop number 3. So if you want to learn about proper protection, come to one of our free virtual workshops. It's workshop number 3. The second one is called debt management. We got to get debt under control because debt control a lot of people's lives. It's like you go to work, half the day you're going to work, you're paying your credit card debt. Debt is something that's lingering these days, especially after COVID. More and more families got hit with it. And if you want to learn how to get out of debt, which I'm going to talk about in a few minutes, go to workshop number 2. Then we have to learn about building an emergency fund. An emergency fund, you got to have at least 6 months to 12 months of your monthly income saved up. Most families these days, they said this, they don't even have no more than one paycheck. They are one paycheck away from destruction. Isn't it so sad right now that the government cannot even get their act together? The Senate, the Congress cannot get their act together. And now we have a government shutdown, and there's a lot of people not getting their checks. But did you know that Congress and Senate, they're still getting their check? Why don't we take their checks away and everything will be, they can make a decision a little bit faster? But to me, I also look at another realm on this is that a lot of families never prepare for emergency fund. Because if you're depending on 1 or 2 paychecks, we're in trouble. So we have to build an emergency fund. And if you want to learn about emergency fund, go to workshop number 5. The problem is this, Gloria, is that people can't read. Everybody, what does that say? Emergency FUN. The minute you say something, we want to go have fun because that's our tendency. That's why we never build up anything. The last one, but not least, is investment protection. Investment protection is protecting you. It's going to take care of you in the future because why? You have to have money making money for you to take care of you. Because the last I checked, our children is not our 401k plan. The government is not our 401k. We have to take care of our financial future. So we have to learn, how do I make money work for me? Now, in talking about that, this is what we call the X curve concept. And it's very simple. And in theory, this is what it says. It says is that when I am young, I have a lot of responsibilities. You know, the responsibilities that I have is number one, is that I have debt. I have income responsibility. I got mortgage. I got my education. So I have all of these responsibilities that I have to take care of. But you notice something, I don't have a lot of money because I'm just starting out in life. So if I don't have a lot of money, but I have a lot of responsibility when I'm young, I have to have a lot of life insurance to take care of my family. So that's why the dime method here helps you figure out how much insurance do I need. You know, it's funny. You know how much insurance you need for a new iPhone. You know how much insurance you need for your car, your home, some of the devices you have, but you have no earthly idea, how much insurance do I need for my family? Is $250,000 right? Is $100,000 right? Is $500,000 too much? What is the number? So you have to understand the dime method. But on the other hand, as time goes on, you got to bring down this responsibility down to zero as fast as possible. Because why? As you get older, you want your mortgage paid off. You want those greedy little kids to move out of your house. You don't want to still take care of them when they're 40 years old. You know, you want to have zero debt. You want the mortgage paid off. You want all of that. So you should have down to zero. But you have to have in the future a lot of money for your future. And in order to understand this, you got to understand what we call the wealth formula, because the wealth formula is a formula that help you generate income for you in the future. Because I have a saying in this, if you don't take care of your money right now and baby it and grow it and nurture it, guess what's going to happen? It's not going to take care of you in the future. Now, in understanding money, talk about debt. You know, did you know with an extra $100 with the plan called debt roll up, you know, you with the extra $100 right here, you know, typically before, because you have no plan to pay off your debt, you know how you pay off your debt? If it's $10 minimum, you pay 15. If it's 25, you pay 35. It takes you 30 years to get out of debt. But if with an extra $100 in a system of rolling it up and eliminating, you can get out of debt in 17 years right here. And if you want to learn how to get out of debt in less than half the time, you go to workshop number 2. It will teach you that. Okay? Now, talk about compound effect of money. It's a very simple thing. If you take 72 divided by the rate of return. So let's say, for example, we have 72 divided by 6. So we have a 6% rate of return account here. That means every 12 years, your money is going to double. And if you started out at $10,000 and every 12 years, your money double, 12 years later, your money doubled 20,000. 12 years later, 24, your money doubles to 40,000. 36 years later, your money grows to $81,000. So from $10,000 to $81,000, you might think, wow, that's pretty good, Dewey. But did you know if you shopped around a little bit and you got a little more education on some plans out there to get a better rate of return, let's say you got a 2% rate of return to 8%. That means money doubles every 9 years. So that means every 9 years, your money is doubling faster now. But so look at this now. Now it's 10,000 to 159,000. So I look at this and you say, Hold on, Dewey. I have a 2% increase, but my money double in the future. Yes, that's correct. See, most people think of this and they say, Gloria, it's only 2%. It's only 1%. But did you know 2% over time makes a big difference? What about a 10% rate of return? What about another 2%? The 10%. The 10% money doubles 7.2 years. So now your money grows from $10,000 to $309,000. But this is how I look at it. You know, when you put your money in the bank at $10,000, does it just sit there or the bank loan it out? The bank loans it out. They take your $10,000, they loan it out in credit card, car loan, home loan, business loan, every type of loan. In America, any type of loan you need to borrow money, they have a loan for it. Okay? You can't buy your iPhone, they have a loan for you. You can't afford that vacation, they have a loan for you. You want to go to Carnival Cruise, Royal Caribbean, they have a loan for you. Disney, you want to go to Disney? They have a loan for you too. They take your money, $10,000, they make $309,000, they give you back $81,000, and they keep over $200,000 plus. This is the difference between a family who does not understand money and another family that understands how money works. Because here's the rule. Pay attention. If you do not understand how money works in this country, you will always work for money for the rest of your life. It is our responsibility to understand how do I make my hard-earned money make more money for me. So if we look at this right here, here's an example. If you save $100, you have a 5% interest. Uncle Sam, you make $5 right here. And guess what? 25% on taxes. Uncle Sam won his $1.25. That now you have 103.75. But then we got this silent killer on money. It's inflation 3%. So actually in return, you have $100.75. So the rule of thumb is this: you got to get at least 5% in interest to beat taxes and inflation. Now let's talk about this right here. Hey, you know, most families, when I ask them to save $500 a month, what do most families say? I can't do it, Dewey. How can I do? I got 3 expensive kids. I got a mortgage. I got 2 car payments. I got a wife. I got this and that. How do I do it? But did you know it's all about this $17 a day? How many times have we burned $17 a day? The first thing we do, we wake up, where do we go? We go to Starbucks. How much is Starbucks, guys? $8 a cup of coffee. $8 a cup of coffee, but you can't walk out there with the cup of coffee. You got to have a bagel. You got to have a sandwich. You got to have breakfast sandwich. You got to have something, because you know what? I'm hungry. I can't go to work hungry. So you spend $8 on coffee. You spend another $5 to $6 on a bagel. You almost burned $17 in the morning already. And we haven't even got the lunch yet. Do you see where all your money's going? Because why? Let me say something. $2 here, $3 there, $5 there, $6 there. All of it adds up to $17 plus a day. So what does $17 a day means to you? 8% rate of return, 30 years. That's a whopping $745,000 for you in the future. At a more realistic, keeping up with the S&P 500 out there at 10%, that's over $1.1 million in your account. And now I know anybody on this call, if you think Starbucks is worth $1 million, keep on drinking that coffee. But if you say to yourself, oh my gosh, I can't believe it, that's where all my money's going. This is why we live paycheck to paycheck. Because when it's only $3, do you really think about it? No, you just tap the pay and you are done. But if you're going to buy something for $500, like an iPad, you know what you're going to do? You're going to do your research. You're going to think about your Amazon, Best Buy, Apple. You're going to see if you got discounts. But when it comes to $3, we don't think about it. We just spend and spend and spend. And that's why you turn around and then your money's not there anymore. So $17 a day is what gets you. This is why we live paycheck to paycheck. This is why you say when you get a raise, the minute you get a raise, and then you turn around, babe, how come we got a raise this year, but we didn't save any more money? Because the more we make, the more we spend. We live in that society. What about inflation? The question is this: is your income keeping up with inflation? New home 23,070s, 123 in the 90s, $500,000 today. But look at your wages, $9,000, $28,000, and the average wage these days is $65,000. So you notice something right here. My wages is not even keeping up with with inflation. We're literally going backwards in time. So the question is this: if you had $100, what's your $100 going to be worth 20 years from now? 5 years from now, it's going to be worth $86. 10 years from now, it's going to be worth $74. 15 years from now, it's going to be $64. And then 20 years from now, it's almost half. It's that $100 bill that you find under your bed. You young ones, when you open up 1 year later, you found a $100 bill, you're so excited. You look at it, it feels the same. It looks the same. You smell it. It smells that same money smell. Most likely, if you taste it, it'll taste the same too. But can it buy the same thing anymore? It cannot buy the same thing anymore. That's called inflation. So if you retire right now in today's dollars, $4,000 a month, you're going to need nearly over $7,000 to live the same way. Now, let's talk about taxes. Very simple. There's 3 tax buckets in America. Number 1 is called tax now. This right here, every single year you have a gain on it, you got to pay Uncle Sam. Tax later is called the tax deferral, 401ks, traditional IRAs, IRA accounts. All of this right here, as time you defer it till 59 and a half years old, and after 59 and a half years old, you're going to pay taxes. But taxes, are they going to be today's rate or future rates? It's going to be at future rates. It's not going to be today's rate. It's going to be in the future. Do you think taxes are going to go down or up in the future? We are $35 trillion in debt right now in this country. We have to pay down that debt in the future, or else we will implode on ourselves. And the only way we can do it is to raise taxes, because I don't see government going to spend any less money. Number 3 is tax advantages. These, if you structure it properly, you can pay no tax on it. Roth IRA, no tax after 59 and a half, 5+ years, 0 tax on it. 529, only used for college education, no tax. Municipal bond, rate of return is too low. Health savings account, designed for your health. What about life insurance cash value? Can I use a life insurance cash value as a tax deferred, tax advantage vehicle? Yes, you can if you structure it properly. And I'm going to show you some solutions in a bit. So understand, the question is this, guys: where do you think the wealthy put their money? Do you think they put it here, here, or here? You think about it. I think you know the answer. Now, this is a managed growth strategy. You got to have 4 things. Number 1, you got to have growth. Your rate of return has got to be high enough to beat taxes and inflation. That's rule 1. Rule 2 is that when you're making money, you got to manage risk and you got to preserve your principal. Because why? You cannot depend if someone on government says something and the market drops 400, 500 points, because it's your money. Because right now we have a global economy. Anything that happens halfway across the world has an effect on your money over here. Number 3 is that you got to understand tax advantage strategies. You got to impact the significant role in building wealth. Because if you can defer these taxes and put in your account, let it work for you, it's significant. And last but not least is protection. You got to protect your income, loss of income. You got to protect your assets, your life, and long-term care and critical illness. I want to say one thing. In this country is one of the very few countries in the world that the number 1 reason for bankruptcy in this country is medical-related bills. Isn't that sad? That no fault of your own, most of it's not. One day you're a healthy guy, you never smoke. You ever see that? Someone never smoke, eat healthy, do the right thing, go to church, righteous person, takes care of other people, wham, cancer. So don't ever say it can never happen to you. It can happen to anyone. And once that happens, if you don't have plans in place to protect you, you can liquidate a lot of assets to pay for this medical care. Protect yourself. And I'm going to share you some plans that does that. You need to do what we call financial checkup. Get with the person and learn to do a financial checkup. Write down your concerns, your goals, your money, your expenses. You know, the biggest question isn't where's my money? Write it down and you'll find out where your money's at. What, and you know, over here, I look at this is that, you know, let me ask you a question. Do you want your home to look like this? Or do you want your home to look like this? It's a very simple question. Would you like it to look like this or would you like it to look like that? It's a very simple thing. You know, most families' home looks like this. Do you know why? Because why? Imagine your home. Your carpenter, electrician, plumber, none of them work with each other to build your home. How would your home look like? A disaster. Just like your financial home, your life insurance guy, your investment guy, your banker guy, your tax guy, none of them work with each other to build your financial future. Each one of those guys just want to sell you their particular product. The insurance guy doesn't care about your debt. The banker doesn't care about your life insurance need. The investment guy doesn't care about your life insurance. He just wants you to put the most money in an investment plan. You have to have what we call a holistic approach in looking at your finances, where you take a look at the whole picture and whatever fits for you, you have to build that building block. How do you build a wall? You build a wall by building it one brick at a time. How do you build your financial foundation? One brick at a time. Not most people do it all at one time, but if you just get started, you just do one layer, one brick. Oh my gosh, this is working. You put another brick on there, education, protection, and you do some budgeting. And then you start working on your liabilities. It starts coming together and you start feeling really, really good about it, right? Now, I want to talk about this right here. Now, everyone says, well, Dewey, yeah, man, whatever you said, that's what we're going through. I understand that. So, what are some of the strategies and products out there that we can use to help our family? So, I'm going to give you a glimpse of two products, okay? We have many of them, but just two, real quick glimpse. And if you want to know a little more about it, get with the person who invited you. They can run full illustrations for you. If you do this, you do that, what will I have, and all that stuff. I'm just going to give you a sample. So, we talk about this right here, Financial Basics 101. You know, the question is that where do you put your money? You know, so first of all, two places people put money. Number one is called safety. They put money in the bank. They put money under the mattress. They put money in a CD. Why do they do that? Because it's safe. But the problem is that number one is safe. There's no risk. But the problem is that the rate of return is very low. Is that true? ROR is low. You don't make any money with those. You are actually going back in time. The second place people put money to is what we call growth accounts, stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, any type of investment type vehicle. Because why do we put money in there? Because we want growth. But then what comes with growth also comes with risk. So it can make money, but it can also lose money. So what happened if we show you a strategy, which is a growth and safety approach where number one, you get growth, plus you get safety built into a product. So what does that mean? Well, if the market goes up, you get up to a rate, up to what we call a quote unquote cap rate return. So if you have a cap rate policy like 13, 14, or 15, let's say 15%. If the market does 14, you get 14. If it does 13, you get 13. If it does 12, you get 12. But in return, if the market goes into a negative, you get what we call a floor. It's a minimum. So we're going to guarantee you a minimum that it will not drop below that number. Typically, it's a 0% floor or 0.75% floor. So what does that mean, Dewey? So if the market does 13, I'm going to give you, the company's going to give you 13% return. But if the market does negative 30, you're not going to lose 30% of your money. You're going to maintain what you had the first year, and it just steps up. And then let's talk about taxes. You know, there's tax now, there's tax later. So what's the advantages of tax now? You know, the advantages of tax now is after tax dollars, because you're paying taxes on that small amount. What happened if I paid the tax on the small amount and then I get the advantage of tax later, which is called tax deferral, wrap it in one product and get tax advantage and also tax-free access and tax deferral, tax-free access. So all the advantages of this type. Wouldn't it be nice if I can find a product that has growth plus safety plus tax advantages built into it? Now, our product line, diversified product line, we have everything. You know, everything you can think of, we have it. We have investment, protection, our solution. Because why? It's all about building this financial foundation. You see the financial foundation right there? Once you understand your financial foundation, you find the product and solution to fit it. Not one product will fit all. Do you understand that? Some companies out there, they're like a one-trick pony. There's a company out there, all they do is push term life. How can term life be good for everybody? Term life is good for you. Term life is good for mom, dad, brother, sister, your kid, your dog, your cat, your kitten, your parrot. They say term life is best for everything. To me, there's no such thing as one product fits all. You have to understand this is my family's foundation. And this is where our challenges are at. Let's find the product and solution to solve this problem. Because your family finances will be totally different from my family finances. No family finance. So you can't go out there and say, hey, what did you buy? What did you invest in? See, that's the biggest mistake a lot of people make at 401k. Because you know what? When you set up a 401k, who do you ask for advice? You ask the next guy to you. Hey, you know what? It's enrollment time. What did you pick? What funds did you pick? I don't know, man. I just picked 20% straight down the middle, and whatever had a good return, I just pick it. See, if he was really good at what he did, do you really think he'd be working next to you? Ask that question. So you cannot heed advice or get advice from people who do not know. You must understand yourself and become what we call your professional-owned professional money manager. Our WFG, WSB, we have a network of providers to help our clients. Anywhere from Transamerica, Pac Life, Nationwide, Fidelity, Allianz, Crump, and 185 different more. So let me show you the first product I want to show you. Okay, this is what we call a Transamerica Financial Foundation Index Universal Life. So this is a life insurance policy with the cash value built in. So what does it offer? Well, number one, it offers life insurance protection. That's foremost number one reason. Life insurance protection, if something happens to you, you beneficiary, your loved ones will receive a death benefit check that is income tax free. If you have a $500,000 policy plus a cash value and you have a graded type policy, that $500,000 plus the cash value will be paid out to your lovely wife tax free. That's number one, if I die too soon. Number two, what happened if I live too long? Dewey, I'm going to live long. I'm not going to die. That's okay. Then you have what we call the build up the cash value through our linked index growth accounts. That means that if the market goes up in the global accounts, let's say, for example, the S&P 500, the Dow Euro, the Nikkei, if it goes up, you get a positive return. But if it goes into a negative loss, you don't lose any money. Number three, you get tax-free supplemental income opportunity. What does that mean? If you structure this plan properly and you put the right amount of money in it, in the future, you can withdraw money out. You can take what we call tax-free access loans out, pay it to yourself, and then when you pass away, it washes out that loan. How about that? Because almost everything we do these days, when you take out money or you're earning income, you got to report it. But this is one way that you can do it. If you structure it properly, you can take out tax-free supplemental income. And then last but not least, you have the riders and benefits in here. That for happen's sake, in the middle, I don't die too soon. I don't live too long, but I get sick in the middle. I have cancer, stroke, heart attack, kidney failure, anything like that, transplant. You never know what happened. At least I'm going to have cash to take care of myself. Because why? The typical life insurance contract out there, the only way for you to get the death benefit is number one, you have to die, or number two, you have to be terminally ill. And terminally ill means the doctor says in 12 months, you're not going to be here no more. But we're not going to do that. We're going to give you what we call living benefits. So we're going to give you benefits while you're alive so you can continue paying the mortgage so you have peace of mind. Here's a sample illustration. This is a 30-year-old female putting in $500 a month, $17 a day. Remember that, $17 a day. This right here is what she puts in a year, $6,000 a year. Because let me say something. If I don't take your $500, guess what? Starbucks is going to take it. Apple's going to take it. Your greedy friends are going to take it. Your kids are going to take it. Everybody else wants your money. So why don't you put what we call pay yourself first to you and your family? Put a bill aside. Honey, every single paycheck, I'm going to put money aside. $500 a month. 30 years old, $500 a month, $6,000 a year. Over here, there's 3 columns in here. Number 1 is called the policy value. That is like your asset. That's your money in your account. That's the money in your account that's growing with the index features and all that good stuff. Number 2 column right here, this cash surrender value is what you can access. A life insurance contract is a long-term vehicle. It is not designed for you to withdraw, put money in, withdraw it within 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, because if you notice, if you withdraw in the early years, you're not going to have a lot of money. You have money on the policy value side, but you can't withdraw it. Because why? Because you have to keep these money in there because it costs a lot of money for these insurance companies to issue these contracts. And then guess what? They have to make money too. So if you keep on withdrawing it and taking it out, nobody's ever going to make money. So you have to give it time. I always tell clients 10 plus years. You got to date this policy for 10 years. After 10 years, you can decide what you want to do. So let's look at this. We have a death benefit right here. Death benefit, if anything were to happen to you, $500,000 coverage plus the cash value, policy value, will be paid out to your family tax-free. Let's go a little further down the road. So we go to age 65 right here. You put in $210,000. You see that? But now in your policy value, I have $583,000. And if I need money, I can access up to 90% of $583,000 too. And if anything were to happen to me, my loving family will receive $1 million in death benefit, tax-free. Let me say something. If you don't put this $500 away, in the future, you're not going to have the $583,000 anyways. That's why I'm going to take your money. You know, you're not joining some kind of company that you're going to buy a bunch of products and put it in your garage and sell it. Over here, we don't teach you to spend money. In WSB, WFG, we teach you to save money. You are putting money away for your family. That's what you're doing. You're building a financial foundation for your family. You're not buying things. We're going to teach you how to manage your expenses. We're going to teach you how to be better at your money. Because you know what? If you keep on waiting, Dewey, let me wait till my kids get older, get them in college, get them out of college, and I'll be good. Hey, man, by that time, you already lost 15 years of investment. You and I both know one thing. When those kids graduate, they have their own family. They're too busy taking care of their own family, their own bills. How can they take care of you? It is time for you to take care of yourself. I'm by far not greedy, but I have one saying. I have this saying. You cannot take care of others if you do not take care of you first. It's like when you get in that airplane, they tell you the same thing. You put on your face mask first, and then you help your child. Because if you do your child first because you're worried about them, you ain't going to make it. And if you don't make it, you can't take care of the child. It's the same concept in financial literacy. Take care of you. So look at this right here. At age 66, I'm taking out $36,000 a year. 36,000, 36,000, all the way out. I took out a total $510,000. And did I pay any taxes on this? None. And if I pass away, my family will still receive $579,000 in death benefit. Now, understand this is a hypothetical at 7.25%. We've done higher, we've done lower. But understand this, you also got to get approved for it. Don't think I got money, I can just buy it. You got to get approved for it. So this is one of our financial concepts. So in a nutshell, I want to summarize it. Basically, You put in $500 a month for 35 years, you put a total of $210,000 out of your pocket. So instead of spending at Starbucks, 210 go back in here. What do you get? Number one, you get growth. You get an uncapped index account. If it does 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15, 18, 18. You get number two, safety. The market drops down, negative territory, you lose no money. You get tax advantages. At age 65, you have $583,000 in your account at 7.25% rate. At age 66, you're taking out $36,000 a year withdrawal. So that age 85, you took out a total of your $210,000 out, plus your $510,000. You took out a total of $720,000. And if you pass away, you also have a death benefit. You have a death benefit anywhere from $500,000 to $1 million. You have tax-free access to long-term care. This policy right here is a long-term care rider built into it, that if you need some loving, tender care in the future that you cannot perform 2 out of 6 ADLs, this policy is going to pay you on a monthly basis. For all of my nurse friends out there, you take care of a lot of patients out there. You take care of a lot of long-term care patients out there. You see what happens when people don't have long-term care insurance money. They are put in a home that they do not want to be there. Then after about 30 to 60 days, they're going to go be sent home. How are you going to take care of yourself? You have to have loving, tender care. That's what I call long-term care insurance. And while you're young right now, you can qualify for it. We have a Transamerica product that if your health is fairly pretty good, you don't have any real big dings on your life, on your medical record, you can actually get approved in record time in under 1 week. Life insurance approval is different these days. We don't even have to stick you sometime with the needle and get your blood. So ask the person who invited you, learn about this. They can run a number for you. What about this second product? What about if you're looking for growth? You know, do you have a 401k somewhere? I need to do an IRA rollover. This is one of the products for you. It's called an Athene Performance Elite 7. What does it offer? It offers you guarantees. It offers you growth potential in the index account. If the index are positive, you get a return. You also have protection. Listen to this, guys. No direct downside market risk. That means if the market drops into a negative, can you imagine you put $200,000 in? The market drops negative 20%. You're supposed to lose $40,000, but since you have an index account like this, you don't lose any money. You maintain your $200,000. You get tax deferral, income, and stuff like that. Now, if you go a little further right here, let's take a look at this right here. Right here, let's take a look at this right here. Now, I look at this right here is this. Look at it. Oh, sorry about all that markings everywhere. But look, you put $200,000 in. 10 years later, assuming the most recent 10 years right here, 10 years. These are the real rate of return. 0, 8, 14, 2, 15, so on. $200,000, recent 10 years will grow to roughly $508,000. Now, of course, you know, past performance does not guarantee you any future results. But this one right here will give you an idea of how a policy performed during the up years and down years in the previous 10-year market. You notice right here, there are no negatives. Second one, what happened if we look at the highest index scenarios? After 10 years, $874,000. Hypothetical return, 15%. What about the lowest index scenario strategies in the last 10 years? Then you end up with 401,000. So even at the lowest point, you double your money. And you notice here, all the way down, you did not see one negative. And you know we had negative markets in the past. No losses, guaranteed. I love it. So for the person who says, well, Duy, I don't need those full growth in the market, but I would like decent returns when the market's doing good, but I don't want to be at market risk. Maybe this is the product for you. And by the way, this one right here is 0 fees. None. Okay? Think about it. Some of you guys have your account in a 1% account. 1% of $1 million. What does that come out to be? Do the math. 1 million on 1%. You know, it's almost $1,000 a month in fees. Are you comfortable paying $1,000 a month in fees? Because you only looked at 1%. It's only 1%. But if you do the math on it, it's $1,000 a month. What do you get for $1,000 a month? Okay. Now I look at this right here. Same thing. 64 years old. You have $651,000. You change your mind at this point. You can take it and do another IRA rollover. It's your money. You do not have to annuitize this. I know sometimes people say, well, it's an annuity. You lose control of your money. Yes, those old mama and papa annuities that were designed back in the 70s and the 80s, that is true. But these are the new design products that, you know what, you never have to annuitize it. So you have full control over your money. Ask the person who invited you and they can show you that. Okay, now I want to switch gears. I got a couple minutes left here. I want to talk about this. This is probably one of the best part of our company. Now that you saw the market need for what we do, and then you also saw another one is that you saw, wow, these are great products and solutions. But Duy, I would love to fire my boss. I would love to quit my job. I would love to make extra income. I would love to build a business like yours and many others. Can I do this business? Well, I'm going to show you how you can develop this business. And I'm just going to give you a glimpse of it, that if you can develop this business for you, you can possibly change your life. I always tell people, you never know until you try. How can we go out there and we drive Uber? We have people sitting in the back of our car that we don't even like them. They're sitting in the back of your car. They're messing up your car. And then whenever you drop them off, you get paid pennies. How about find a real business that you can truly fire your boss and change your life and possibly travel the world with us too? So let me share with you, how do you develop this business? So for the right person that says, Duy, I'd like to learn. Hey, can I make money doing this? I love because everybody knows the financial industry has money. But the problem is that most people don't want to go work for Fidelity, because if you go work for Fidelity or Charles Schwab, nothing against them, okay? Wonderful companies. But you have to quit your full-time job. You have to go cold turkey and you have to cold call and you got to be a salesperson. Most people don't want to do that. They don't even know how to do that. But in our business, we have a system to hold your hand, show you the ropes. Even though you know nothing in the financial industry, we're going to show you how it works. Phase one in the industry. This is phase one. Okay. So part one in the business, join our campaign. To get started in our campaign, $125 platform fee, $40 business kit. That gets you started. That just gets your feet in, okay? Because it issues you a code number. We do a light background check on you because you cannot have a felony being in the financial industry. Of course, that makes sense. You know, you can't be robbing a bank and then handle someone else's finances. It just doesn't make sense. So we're gonna do a light background check on you. Make sure you're not you have a clean record. You gotta have a good record to be in business, okay? This is not one of those MLM things that anybody can join. You know, that's not. This is the financial industry, because why? You're going to have to get licenses in the industry. You know, to me, anything that requires a license through the state can be some good money. So the licensing you're going to go through is a life and health exam. Your life and health exam, roughly, like, for example, I'm in Texas right here. I know we have people all across the country on this call, probably about 30 different states on this call with you today. And licensing average cost is roughly about $150, because you have to do an FBI fingerprint. So you have to go down to a fingerprint center and do an FBI fingerprint. Okay. So to me, how can it be a scam if it's an FBI fingerprint? That's common sense. Number two, we have study materials online, ExamFX, Kaplan, Dearborn, 80 Banker, all these companies that's going to help you pass. You can pass your test in 14 days and go take your exam. Study online, do the courses. We have licensing workshops for you too. Take your test within 14 days from now. 150 questions typically, A, B, C, D, multiple choice, pass the exam. Once you're done with your exam, submit your licensing to the state. You get a license, and your license is good in all 50 states. Because you'll be a resident state, for example, in the state of Texas. If you want to sell in California, you just pay the fees for California, and then you're able to sell in California. So my point is this: when you get your license, and then you're going to help build a financial foundation. You're going to help start, number one, your financial foundation. You're going to start learning the protection, debt management, emergency fund investment. We suggest you to start out with $500 a month. Now, some people do more. Some people do less. Some people start out with $200. But some people, they say, well, where am I going to get my $500? Well, why don't you make some money? See, the problem, guys, is not inflation. The problem is not the government. The problem is not your job. The problem is that you do not make enough money. So why not make extra income so we can build this financial foundation for your future? And then when you're licensed and you help someone else set up their protection plan, set up their cash value plan, you get paid for it. So when you first come in the company, you're going to be shadowing someone. Okay, so I'll give you an example. This is phase 2. This is called the income phase. And I'm only going to hit on the personal income because most team members, most new members will experience this within the first 30 days. So I'm telling you right now, if you join the campaign, you get your license done, and you shadow your trainer, that means you come in, Dewey, I don't know how to do the presentation, all that good stuff. I do the presentation for you. I hold your hand. I do the presentation. I do the personal financial strategy for your prospect. And they said, Dewey, I can save $500 a month. And let's say you're licensed. So let's think you're licensed right now. I'm not going to do any splits or anything. Just $500 you close. If you close $500, that generates from a company like Transamerica, pays our dealer $7,500. But the question is that how much of the $7,500 do you want? So if you're at the lowest contract level, a training associate level, the bottom of the bottom, man, you are the bottom. In this company, you will start out low. And as you stay longer with us, you're going to get higher and make more money. See, that's the company I want to be with. Okay, so if you're a training associate, you write one cell. You help one family build their financial foundation, $500 a month. You put protection in place. You put some supplemental retirement in place. You help them build this foundation. You get paid $1,875 for that account. Think about it. How long does it take me to make an extra $1,875 at work? How many overtime you have to do? Some of you guys are even on salary. And when you're on salary, you don't even make extra. What happened if you help one family a week? Help protect the family every week, one family. That means you made $7,500 for that month. And I don't know about you. At $7,500 part-time, which we have a lot of people in my Dallas Central office do, you come down to my office, you'll see them. You make $7,500 extra. You make more money than your full-time job. You can quit your full-time job and go full-time with us. Or if you love your full-time job, you can keep your full-time job and still do part-time with us. We don't require you to go full-time. We don't require you to have quotas. We just require that you're a person that pass your license and you care to share and help other people. If you're the person who says, if I love to help people, now you get to help people and also help your own family. Like I shared a little earlier, in order for you to help other families, you got to take care of your family first. You cannot feed the mouth of another child until you feed the mouth of yourself and your child. And I know many of us love to help people, but in order to help people, at last I checked, it takes money. If you get promoted in our company and you become an associate level, that means you hit a certain point criteria. You have 3 business associates that do business with you. You have about $1,000 in premium, which is a piece of cake. You get promoted level. You get a higher contract level. So if you sell $500 a month, you make $2,625. You help 4 families a month, $10,000. You're at 6-figure income level. You can make 6-figure in our company part-time, and I have many people 6-figure income part-time in our business. That's up to you. You become a marketing director, a manager, junior manager. You become a junior manager in our company. You have a higher contract level. You close one sale, you make $3,750. $3,750, you do 4 a month, 1 a week, you make over $15,000. You become a senior manager or an agency owner. I'm an agency owner. That means you own your own agency. If you become an agency owner, senior marketing director, this is a permanent contract, permanent override, all the bonuses, everything for you. If you become the senior agent owner, agency owner, You have a higher contract level. Each sale you write, you make $4,875. You do 4 a month, one a week, you make over $19,000 in cash flow. Now, I don't know about you. If you're the right person that says, Dewey, I want to change my life. I need to make more money. I only live life once. We only live life once. You better make it count. Because once you're 65, 70 years old, a lot of people already give up on life. They said, I've done my part. I raised my children. I've done what I was supposed to do. And now I'm just going to retire. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to sit there and I'm going to just retire and just think about life. I'm going to feed my goldfish. That's not life. We have to feel that, you know what, that we have to do something. So if this is for you, the information I share with you today, you say, well, Dewey, you know what? I'm very interested. I want to learn about this. You know what? Get with the person who invited you. Well, my name is Duy Truong. You know what? We finished right about 1 hour. Okay. I got 3 subjects in 1 hour. I know there's a lot more in detail. I know I kind of went a little fast, but get with the person who invited you and just ask that question like I did 27 years ago. It could possibly change your life. All right, guys. So thank you for your time here today. We'll have a future session. Come down and visit one of our financial centers all across the country. We're looking forward to seeing you. We have a big event on November 14th. It's a financial literacy summit. Ask the person who invited you if you can attend that. Come down to a local office and learn a little bit more because why? Your family deserves it. Not your employer, not anyone else. Your family deserves it. Let's make it count. We'll see you guys at the top. All right. So good night, everybody. Thank you for being on tonight. All right. You've been wonderful. Where's my music? Right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Awesome. Awesome. I see Joyce there. Susan. I see Susan there. All right. My music. Where's my music? Okay. I'll get it on. All right. Thank you. All right. Awesome, everybody. Good to see you on. Good to see you. All right. Thank you. Man, that's a lot of hearts, man. It's a lot of loving. All right. No music. Okay. We're done. All right. So, guys, we'll see you later. Good night, everybody.